That would be the ultimate. Because it's a liquor, Jägermeister. That's. I know. Hang on a second. Don't get hand cramps there, Moses. Moses had to hold his arms up for. No one Jewish? Okay. I think that it's a very slippery slope if we start involving those people because it would have to be the right director who gets it. I know that for film, people that got into the performance capture stuff, like, I mean, obviously Bob Zemeckis loved it. When they did Tintin, Steven Spielberg, they shot everything in 23 days, I think, the entire movie in 23 days. And he was like, this is amazing. This is absolute. Why haven't we done this before? This is absolutely incredible. Who saw Tintin? I loved it, dude. I thought it was great. Most people from Europe are like, it's terrible. It is not the comic. I love the comic. It's terrible. All right, sub-question. Here we go. Are games too expensive?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody say no, by the way? You say no.
I say no.
Love you. She's mine. She's mine.
3 cats.
Does anybody know how much of the $60 game, $60, goes to the publisher? Anybody?
20%.
How much? 30%. So that's what, $18?
Yeah.
A little bit higher. Here's what happens. Typically, $60. 15 of that is going to go to Best Buy, GameStop, whoever. Okay, so not even 45. If it's a cross-platform game, typically it's $5 to $10, depending upon your level of with the publisher, to go be on the privilege of being on Xbox, be on the privilege of being on PS3. If you're a independent developer or a first-party developer like Naughty Dog, obviously you don't have to pay PlayStation to be on their game. You work for Sony. So, but for average XYZ company who develops for Xbox and PS3 or PS4 now, you have $5, $10 off of $45, $35. Okay, so now you're at 55% of that retail price is going to publishers. Now that's 55% gross. Then you have to take off of that how much did it cost to make the game, how much did it cost to promote that game, how much did it cost to manufacture that game, how much did it, I mean, all of these things. So maybe it does end up about $18 a unit. I don't know. But everyone's like, publishers make billions of dollars. They don't. How the hell did THQ go out of business, man? You draw. Yes. Guys, I've got it. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. But they were trying. They were trying to be innovators. They just put their eggs in the wrong basket, pot, whatever. Cooked it for too long. I don't know. It's a cooking metaphor. But it's not a lot of money, and it's being made by this amount of people. Good God. I look at Atlas, who've been cranking out like Persona, Catherine, right?
Yeah. Dragon's Crown.
Yes. These people, I mean, there's no one there. I mean, I know all the people that work there. They're not driving Lamborghinis. They're not driving Ferraris. They're making games by the skin of their teeth, and everything goes onto that disc. Nothing goes in their pockets. So it's not like this huge, oh my God. And then people go, $60 a game for 13 to 15 to 40 hours of content? Come on, man. Now, what if we did this? What if we made it subscription-based? Free-to-play, subscription-based. No?
No.
Why? Who said no? You? Not you? You said? Yeah. See, now you're back down. No! You've had your hand up. What? Did you say no?
I'm a video game designer.
Okay.
So, and I went to school for it and everything.
Okay.
And, that wouldn't work because the budgets that people need to work on it, that wouldn't do, and also to pay everyone to get all the different designers,
Okay.
Everything needed. It's not a reliable salary.
Okay. What if you made it episodic? How would you like, let's say you're typically 18 to 24 month dev cycle, right? Okay. what if you didn't have to complete the entire game in 18 to 24 months, but you needed to, like, and I don't know if this is an antiquated model. I'm not suggesting this. I'm throwing this out as a postulate. If we made, and the only reason why I say this could possibly work is because Walking Dead did it so well. Who played Walking Dead? Episodic. Freaking amazing. Absolutely. And as soon as you got to that, you were like, you could not wait for them to come out with that next episode. You were just craving it. But you either went back through and played that level again, made different choices, just to see what you could do, or you talked about it. People discussed. What did you do about Caroline? What did this mean? It was just such a great game. I don't think every game can do that, but I'd be really interested to see what would happen if designers were given more lead time to develop a story like shows do. You're granted a season, and you as the consumer paid $15 for X amount of episodes that you could finish, and monthly or whatever. We're already doing it. It's called DLC. Do you know why DLC exists?
To charge more money.
To get things out faster.
Like what?
Charge for horse armor.
Faster to the consumer, so they have more time.
Faster to market? Isn't the main reason why DLC exists? So you guys won't sell that disc. Now, is it because greed, developers and publishers? No, it's because they're losing their ass on used games. Anything that we can do to say, please hold on to that disc, guys. Please don't sell it. Just hold on to it. We'll give you more content. How about that? Is that cool? Yeah, we'll charge $9.99 for a season pass, but you'll get every bit of DLC that we're going to come out for the next year. If you'll just hang on to that disc, please. Because it's way better to give that content away for almost free than for you to go to GameStop and go, it sucked, give me $10, and they turn around and sell it for 50. Pure profit. Pure profit. That doesn't go to any developer, any publisher at all. That goes straight to GameStop. It's a brilliant business model. I don't fault them for it. It's capitalism at its best. But it is becoming the Napster of the video game industry. And there's no way to beat it.
Pre-Lars Ulrich.
Pre-Lars Ulrich. See what you did there. What time is it? 2 o'clock?
1:55.
How much time do I have? 30. Are you guys digging this? Is this cool? Yeah. Okay. No! Get out! I'm really passionate about this, and I don't want anybody to think that I don't like GameStop. I buy games from GameStop. Yes, games are expensive, and what sucks is it's like, I can't wait to get this game, I can't wait to get this game, I get this game, I pay $60 for this game. This game sucks. I've done it. Holy crap. And you're almost so angry that you don't even want it in your house anymore. I remember when I played Ninja Gaiden 2, rented it. I got almost to the very end, and there was this one 3-stage boss battle where there was no health anywhere to be found. It was just like, good luck. I took the game and walked into Blockbuster at the time. Oh, yeah, it was that long. Well, Ninja Gaiden 2. And threw it at the guy. I was like, that game, dude. It was the worst gaming experience. So I understand there's some games that are like, this is terrible. That's why I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if we went episodic. Again, not with everything else. It would suck to do for a first-person shooter. You're like, it's like, to continue this call, please press, I wouldn't want that to happen. But I think it'd be really, really interesting if you had certain things like a Walking Dead, really, really narrative-based, environment-rich, content-driven games that you could release episodically, and maybe it gets canceled. Not enough people went, yeah, I'm down for that. Or your viewership dropped off. Your ratings fell. I think it'd be really interesting to see what would happen. Again, we're seeing TV move away from that model. So I don't want games to be 10 years behind or even 20 years behind the film and TV model. I want them to be the innovators. Somebody asked Brian Bloom, who, phenomenal actor, writer, someone said, when do you think that games will be able to bridge the gap with film? And he goes, I don't understand the question. Well, what I'm saying is, when do you think, I almost stepped to my death again. When do you think that video games will be able to bridge the gap with film? And he goes, brother, TV and film is standing on the shore. trying to figure out how to get where games are at. It's a completely different medium. I want games to stay the innovators and not the replicators. But it would be an interesting thing, just from a financial model, to say, can we adopt an episodic model for this? And would the consumer buy into, I can't spend 60 bucks, but I'll give you 15. And I'll give you 15 again, and 15 again. Who hates in-app purchases or in-game purchases? You hate them.
Yes.
Why?
Because then the model is, with a box purchase, the model is make it a fun experience as possible so you buy it. But with microtransactions, it's about beating down your patience to make you submit and then buy the thing.
I kind of agree. No, I'm a slave to them. I have spent, who's played Injustice on the iPad? You, okay, of course you have. I love you. I have spent, it's been a conversation, dude. I've spent a lot of money on that game.
Day one, as soon as DLC comes out, I'm buying it. I feel like that's what happens.
Well, it's that, and it's also, I have, I think, 15 fully leveled up gold 40 level 5 characters. And it becomes this thing, I've got to do it. I've become obsessive about it. So, doom, 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 run, dun, dun, dun. I didn't see it. It was either Pink Panther or Pee Wee Herman that just came in. I don't know who it was. But I'd be curious to see what would happen. Let me ask you this. Would you guys buy into that? If it was like, I'm not going to pay 60 bucks, I'll pay 15 and give it a sample and see what you think. Because that's show of hands. Okay, who said no? I'm just curious. Who was like, eh? Boom, Booker.
For me, like when I pay $60, I kind of like going redeem, and with microtransactions and DLC like that, I feel like you're downloading, you're kind of downloading the key to play. It's not actual ownership.
Is a disc? Is a disc actual ownership?
No. For the most part, but they can lock stuff off like patches.
Is it the illusion of ownership?
That would be.
I own this! But it doesn't mean anything. Once the contents of it are gone, you know, removed of its the reason why I purchased this cup has no value. Has less than 1 cent value. Plus I want to stay the planet and recycle and get a good feeling, you know. Past that, there's no ownership in games. The only ownership you have is literally over the content that they've given you. Really interesting thought that somebody, total sidebar. Someone said that and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this too. The player is not a co-writer, it's not a co-author, and it's not a co-director of a game. They're simply an editor. They're simply an editor. All the content is there. You get to decide which cut you go with, what your outcome is, how everything looks. But if we have a philosophy from a game designing standpoint that the writer has such a level of agency that they're the co-writer, then we're not doing our job as game makers. We're not doing our job because if we feel like, oh, well, then we leave that up to, we offer choices like we do in Infamous. That's not co-writing, that's editing, bro. It's an interesting philosophy. I just thought of that. I wanted to share it with you. I agree that microtransactions, right? It's a knee-jerk response to a huge problem, to this sickness that the video game industry has right now, and they're just trying to do everything they can to, how do we make money, guys? Microtransactions. You could buy a skirt. You can, actually. Because if we make it, if there's such a cost to everything, every mechanic that we have, then we've got to be able to quantify and monetize that. So I understand why they do it. I know, it's me. I just... That's how you fill up 30 seconds and offer some humor for a panel. You just don't say anything. We're on the right side, aren't we? All right, go for it. Yeah.
I loved your performance in Saints Row, and I was wondering, What's your approach for playing a sociopathic character?
It's called NAR. No acting required. You know, dude, I really have to hand it to Jaros and the team at Volition, DS Volition now. Because it's just well written. You know, we really had to do very, very little. And a lot of props has to go to Laura Bailey for this one. Because obviously, who's played Saints Row? All right, cool. I love Saints. I'm excited for GTA. Pulled my back yesterday. No. Love me in pain. I pulled my back once in a session. It was for Age of Conan for the 3 people that played that game. Yeah, I was doing like some big speech and I went, because I for some reason had a sword in my hand. Not a real one, but not even a fake one, just no sword, but I fine. And I went, oh! Oh God. And so the engineer looked at me and was like, dude, are you okay? I was like, I'm good. But Saints Row 3, I was the default male voice, right? So if you chose male 1, you got me. And then there was also Ken, who did default black male, which I love saying,
male
black
voice
male. You had like even Steve Bloom that did zombie, you had Russian, you had Hispanic, you had all these different choices you could have. So I kind of laid the template for everybody and subsequently had people that wanted the other actors to murder me because they had to match my timing. Well, I'm not exactly a normal actor in the sense that the line could be, get in the car. Get in the car. Forward. Get in the car. And mine would be like, get in the car. Get in the car. So if you were Laura Bailey, who was doing the female default character, she would have to match that timing. So we would pass in sessions and stuff, and I'd come in and I'd be like, hey, what's up? She'd be like, hey, what's up? So for Saints Row 4, she got to do the template. And boy, did she have fun messing with me. She'd look at certain lines and go, oh, Troy's gonna love this. And I was like, God, this is really hard, you guys. Really hard. So those performances, everyone had different lines, but we also had to match like certain timing, and we had, you know, the in-game dialogue to kind of like put our own personal stamp on it. But Laura Bailey, I have to say, she is the real POTUS of that game, and all of us were just kind of following in her footsteps, and she did an amazing job. If you haven't played the game, it's just fun. It's just, superpowers are fun. And it's just ridiculous, and you can just turn your brain off and play a fun game.
Love it.
Huh?
I love it.
I love it. You settle down back there. Crazy hair. All right, you're right here with your hand up.
Okay, so.
Okay, here we go.
One of the roles you're well known for is Excalibur in Soul Eater. I have a question and a request.
Gee, I wonder what it's going to be.
Question, at any point while you were like reading for Excalibur, I mean, let's face it, the guy is just darn annoying. Were you ever like unbearably annoyed by what were you reading?
Go ahead and ask.
I mean, you were the guy doing the voice. I mean, weren't you annoyed by Excalibur?
Not in the least. Not in the least.
Seriously?
No! He's an annoying character, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun. One of my favorite moments, Zach Bolton was the director, and he first directed me on, Thanks for helping, by the way.
John Burtmeyer?
Huh? No. It was Zach Bolton, the first thing that we did together. Oh, God, I can't remember the name of the show. I had a Desert Punk. Thank you. Woo! Yeah, where were you when I needed you? Yeah, woo! Loved you in that. So, and then we got to do, I'm just rolling them, Shin-Chan together. I played Action Bastard in that one, which was so much fun. And so when it came down to doing Excalibur, he was like, he sent me a YouTube clip, and he was like, tell me what you think of this. And I watched the clip, and I replied back, I said, I don't know what I just watched. And he was like, what'd you think of the white guy? And I'm like, first of all, I don't know what I have to think about race. I was like, he's hilarious. I was like, you should probably get like Sabat or Eric Vale. And he goes, what about you? And I went, no, dude, I'm not. Everyone's already got their cameras up. They're like, it's going to happen.
So my request, I think also screen, in Excalibur's voice, could you please sing the Excalibur song?
Can we grab a drink after this? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up your memory cards by waiting. You guys recording? You guys ready? Everyone's recording?
No.
We are going to sing that song in Hello? Hey. No, I can talk. What's up? Okay. Camera's down. I'm not going to do it. Oh, you guys are good. One guy goes, wait.